everyone. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to make sure that I am up and running and live so that we make sure that if we cut out, I will actually know that we've cut out. We are up and running and live, and that should take care of that for us. And as long as I can make sure that we stay live, then we can get into today's haul. Today everything was on sale except for blue items. White was 75% off, and then the rest was 50%. I think found one white item the entire time I was there. It looks like they took the jewelry and they did some more of those grab bags, so there actually wasn't a lot more of the cheaper stuff that there normally is today. I also found quite a bit of glass that I'm pretty excited about. And on that note, let's start getting into it. We are still keeping the fill your pockets for the background. That, of course, is the nod to the Ukrainian woman who went up to the Russian army and gave them sunflower seeds and essentially said, here you go, so at least whenever you die, sunflowers will grow in your place, which is pretty badass. So keeping that as the background goer. So let me start off with one that I liked. I also changed the setup just a little bit so that whenever I am cutting, I'm going to try and cut instead of ripping. And hopefully it won't be quite as loud. Not that I've gotten any complaints, not that I've gotten a lot of feedback regardless, but hopefully that helps a little bit. So I wanted to show you this first nice, big, beautiful necklace. Let me see if I can get it to increase a little bit. Okay, so on this one is a pretty long chain, and what I actually liked about it and what made me get it is that it has all of their spherical beads, although I don't know if these are actually drilled to call them beads. They're encased in this like beautiful gold encasement that I think makes them look really nice. It looks like there might be some missing though. I'm not 100% sure because these don't have any in there. It does look like it has 2 lobster clasps on it. So I wonder if that was actually an option to make one into a bracelet. Let me just take this off and then let me see, because I bet you, oh my lord, this is most definitely a bracelet that was attached to the necklace. So it looks like we got a 2-for-1 guy. Alrighty, I'm gonna switch it right back over to the Little Swan and Big Me just to give you a nicer idea of the actual length of this, and just because they do look a little bit different depending on the different cameras. So that is a surprise bracelet. We're starting off strong today. We got a surprise little find. That's kind of unique. So we'll see. I'm sure I'll be able to make something and do something kind of cool and unique with that. So I am hopeful for that. And that was $1.99 originally, but I got it for half off. So pretty good dealings. This next one was a whole $1. Let me see if I get used to cutting it while it's being focused. So I paid 50 cents for this guy. This one is pretty nice. Let's take a look at it though, under the lights a little bit more, and see if we can take a little bit more look at it. So here we actually have these really beautiful green beads. Now this is actually drilled all the way through, and it does slide on the chain, so I don't have to worry about getting it off of it. These actually should be pretty simple to cut through. I really loved how beautiful it almost looks like. It has like a foil backing to it to go and create that metallic effect, which I was a big fan of. Then they just have some simple silver balls, and then we've got these really bright blue tiger eye ones. Now I do like these. This is actually a brighter blue than what I've had before. If we Oh, maybe not. I did attach a charm of mine to that guy, but it's not going to be able to be visible for you. So that was only 50 cents, although there's not a lot of beads that I'm actually going to capture from this guy, sadly, even though he is really pretty. It just looks like I'm going to get 4 of the tiger-eyed beads, and then 3 of the green ones, and then a couple of silver balls that don't really matter that much, but I did only spend 50 cents for them, so per price of how many cents each bead cost, not too bad all in all. Not amazing, but hey, we're here. This next one that I have, now this is a big old bracelet. This is actually a blue tag, so I did pay full price just because I really liked how big these beads are. So these are actually bigger beads. I don't remember what the one size up from seed beads is. However, this is the size that is a little bit larger, and I kind of like that. It also has a bunch of greens. So let's go down to here and let's see if we can see a little bit more. So if you can see, we have these really, really bright greens. And then we have these black beads, and then every so often you have a black bead that has that oil slick application to it. So it gives you a little shimmer of purple. But it's really pretty. I actually kind of like this type of a bracelet. It actually isn't bad of size-wise. I have very small wrists, so normally if a bracelet is going to be able to fit me, it's normally not going to fit a ton of people. Although this is actually an extremely comfortable bracelet. I also like how bold they went and how thick they made it. It does feel like it has kept up extremely well. The elastic itself has kept up very well. It looks really nice. So I'll have a fun time. I'll probably sort out the black beads, but the green ones I think I'm gonna leave, even though they do differ in color quite a bit. So that was that little guy. All in all, coming back to here, we're cruising through today. We're cruising through. We're having a good time. This next one is actually still on its original tag. Looks like 11 pieces. Blue moon beads. Oh, so I guess these are just beads. This isn't even a necklace. It's just beads. It was originally $1, so it looks like I got it for 50 cents. Although I swear to God that I have to pay much closer attention whenever they're ringing me up, because sometimes the totals that I believe that it should come out to aren't quite what it comes out to. And I do just wonder that with so many necklaces, if they're either scanning extra ones or if they're not actually taking off the required amount. I'm not 1000% sure. I do need to pay a little bit closer attention, probably. But we've got this guy, so let's go and take a look underneath our swan guy, and let's take a little look and see what else we can see here. So in here, you can really see some of these. Actually, you can't really see too much of anything, huh? That's better there. So here we have these really pretty purple ones that do have a little bit of an iridescence, and then we have these really cute small red beads. I'm hoping that these are actually the same side seed beads as my other ones so that I can combine them. If not, it might just go in with all of my reds and start my Holly Jolly Christmas fund over there. And then it also has this chain, which is really interesting. They look very delicate and it's not super well put together, but it has these really pretty blues. I'm not seeing these blues anywhere in any of the other beads that are on there, but they included it in this guy. I also find it interesting that he's the only one that didn't stay together. So that was that one going on over there. And now we're back up here. We have, this guy was actually the first one that I looked at whenever I got there today. So $1.99 yellow tag, not too bad price-wise, especially because, and I'm going to show you here in a second, just how much we actually get from this one and how many different colors. So let's throw it on into the bigger swan guy and me, and now let's look at some of these colors. So we have two very vibrant yellows. We have quite a few of these neon oranges. We do, it looks like all of the same size pinks. We have these big old bright neon orange. These look like glass rectangles, which are nice, which gives it quite a bit of texture. It also is being offset with these like deep magenta ones. It looks really nice. We also have some more of these larger yellow ones, although we're getting a little bit darker. I love the way that this is actually picking up on camera. You can actually really see how neon this is. I don't actually have a lot of neon beads right now, so I'm glad that it does give you so many different colors to work with. So I'll have to see what I end up making out of this, but I liked this guy and I only ended up paying $1 for him, so not bad whatsoever. He was a great little find and is the one that actually started off my hunt this morning, so he was the first one that I found. This next one looks like it's a big little cutie, quite a few different strands. So I did pay, it was originally listed for $1, and it looks like it's the same exact one, that these are just glass seed beads. Looks like originally they were charging $2.97 for it before we cut them out. I didn't even realize that these weren't true necklaces, which actually makes me a little bit happier, because that means I'm not destroying a necklace. I'm literally just taking beads apart. So that makes me feel a little bit better all in all. So coming down over here to the little swan guy, we're actually going to get some of these really beautiful, this is almost like a dusty baby blue. It's very pretty. I also like how these are a little bit bigger of the glass seed beads. You can kind of tell the difference in size as I place them right next to those yellow ones. This is a very calm yellow, especially comparatively to the yellow that we just had. It now almost looks brown, but a very soft yellow, which is really nice. And then it does look like we have a little bit more of these really vibrant blues. So I'm excited to work with these guys. This blue would work fantastic. I have made a couple of charms that it was trying to make like a secret nod to the Ukrainian flag, and having the right blue is a very important part of it. So I'm glad that I found this blue. And it looks like it's still in pretty good condition. I did actually get a new strainer at the dollar store, and hopefully that'll help. It's a little bit of a tinier mesh to make it easier to actually clean some of the seed beads, especially whenever they get out of hand. I also did not tell you guys the biggest story that happened, in which case I don't actually have the one thing that I need to be able to show it to you, but I'm going to show it to you at the end, where I had one of my cases that had all of my seed beads in it fall everywhere, spilled everywhere. I was so done that I literally was like, I'm done. I'm not cleaning this up. This is too much. There are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of beads. Like, this would be something that I think that comparably, it probably took me about 30 straight hours of doing it to get everything back, and that was even accepting that some of the beads weren't going to be able to be saved, especially ones that just went through the cracks. And after we swept the floor up, everything that didn't come up with the first 2 sweeps of sweeping the floor with beads ended up just living with the Roomba and getting picked up from him. But so my boyfriend, because when it originally happened, I was like, I know how much, like, these are some of my favorite beads, and I do believe in recycling and all of this stuff, and not to be wasteful. But whenever I saw the thousands and thousands and thousands of beads that would need to be cleaned and sorted, I was like, I'm done, guys. I'm ready to go home. I can't. But I actually found my boyfriend. He spent 3 hours and tried to sort them between light and dark. I don't know how much that actually helped me, but he did spend 3 hours, which I thought was darling. And because like, I went to bed. I was like, I'm done. We collected the beads up. I was done. I just went to bed. It was one of those nights where you're like, damn. So I went to bed, and then I woke up and I found him doing that. And then the next day I woke up and was like, all right, let's get this going. So I sorted beads, I'm not even joking you, for like 14 hours. I started my day with coffee, sorting beads. It then went to drinks. It then went to lunchtime having sorting beads. And then it went into dinner. And then it went into let's just drink and try and get this stuff done. So I literally like woke up and ended up beading from the very beginning. And then I ended up quitting about the 14-hour mark. Just because I couldn't do it anymore. And whenever I went to close my eyes, I kept on seeing the beads and like my mind kept on trying to do them, especially because the way that I'm able to sort them, or that the way that we had to, kind of, not that we had to, but ended up working out the best with us, required me to use beading tweezers and picking them up individually. I'm going to show you guys that later for anybody who wants to stick around. I just needed, oh, and then I had to do more. There was still a little bit left to actually sort through. So I ended up spending a couple more hours on Sundays, or on Sunday, and then I spent my Monday finishing them out, which took, I think it was like 4 hours on Monday in addition to everything we did Sunday and Saturday and Friday night. So that was an experience. That was a very large experience. So now that I've told you this story, let me go and show you this next necklace. So it kind of ends up looking like that guy. Let me cut this tag off for us real quick. It was $1.99. And that's where you kind of get it. I'm actually not in love with this very end for the tassels. But let me go and bring this up onto the wool swan before we finish everything up and we finish talking about this guy. So this one, okay, I'm going to start with the make first. So this is Gaspejor. I'm not sure. So it is a French jeweler who makes them. It looks like I looked them up a little bit. I think they're from like the 60s or the 70s. It does look like they're sold in like Nordstrom's and things like that. But this one had a really beautiful chain. I'm actually not going to take this apart to make into a connection charm. I'm just going to keep it as it is, except that I'm probably going to switch out this toggle. I really do love the chain for myself, though. I'm just not a super big fan of the toggle. So this will be going into my jewelry collection over here, but I found it and I was really excited for it. Let's do another one that is the normal jewelry that we're having right on in here. So for this necklace, we've seen these types of necklaces before. They're very common. We're looking at normally having some version of a tiger-eyed bead with some form of a rhinestone crystal in between. This one was $1.99, but I did get it half off, which was convenient. And let's take just a quick look. So we've got a little lobster claw. Does not look like we have any identification for who made this. We do actually have a coordinating with the beautiful green tiger eye down here. I did paint my nails this morning. I just didn't have time to put on a top coat or clean it up. And somehow, within a couple of hours, I guess my thumb decided it did not like to be painted anymore. I apologize, guys. And then we are seeing, now we can actually see a little bit more of the crystals a little bit easier. It does look like they paired it with a very, very bright, almost like aquamarine crystal. Now these crystals are absolutely filthy. So I'm actually hoping that once we get them cleaned up quite a bit, they might actually shimmer a little bit more. But they do look like, just like the other one that we actually found some of the rhinestones missing, it does not look like these rhinestones were very well set into it, which is disappointing. But I did get a bunch of these beautiful green tiger eyes, which I absolutely love. And I also love whenever I can make charms that like nod to flowers. I've gotten into that with some of my happiness. So I do like those green ones, and those beautiful tiger eye green ones are just going to work very well for me, I think. Coming back over to our big old swan. So this one, again, we've got a big old necklace here. It was originally $1.99. Got it for $1. Not too bad whenever you're looking at how much everything is and everything. So let's do another one where we take it underneath the swan, and let's see if I can get it. So this actually might be the best that we can get to go and get it to show up. Oh, there we go. So if you see, this actually has a lot of variations of purple in it. Not to mention it has almost like not a briolette, a bugle beads, although they're almost like half the size. I'm not sure, especially because I have done so many sorting. And with this being so many beads, I do think that I may actually keep this together until for another week until I find myself wanting to sort beads again. Normally I find sorting beads actually kind of relaxing, but not after this past weekend. But I do think that I'll end up sorting out the colors a little bit more, especially just because it has so many, and there are definitely different things that I'd want to go and do with like the darker purples rather than the lighter ones. So it does have quite a few different strands on it. I'm not going to count for the camera just to help make this go a little bit faster, but this is definitely a ton of gorgeous purples. I'm actually surprised that purple, whenever I first started collecting and going out, how I couldn't get any purples. And maybe it's because now that I see purples and I look at purples, but there just seems I've gotten a ton of purple ones. I also love the way that looks like it changes from like those gorgeous light purples to being dark and brown. It almost takes on. That looks so pretty, guys. I really could spend all my time in front of the camera just showing off jewelry. I mean, QVC, if you want to hit me up, I would love that. Absolutely, hands down, would have a blast with it. So this is my next one. So if you're looking at me and going, oh my God, what is that? And what are you going to do with all of those? You're correct. I have no idea if I'm going to make them into charms. I actually might see if I can make them into something else. I'm not sure. This was originally $1.99, yellow tag. And let me show you the individual ones real quick. Underneath the little swan in me. And we'll take a look at these guys. So these do actually, these are black. However, some of them are a little bit scratched and you can kind of see their coppery undertones coming through because of it. Sorry, this is metallic, so it is sticking to my bracelet as well. So this is what the actual individual fringes look like. So it looks like a beautiful teardrop going down. It is kind of hollowed on the other side, which means that depending on what I do with them, I could get them to stack. They look like gorgeous feathers, but I'm also not sure what I can do because with them already being attached like this, I may also just add this to be trimmed someplace. So I don't know if you remember those like old lamps that they used to have that would have all of the beads on the outside and just absolutely gorgeous. I have been looking for one myself and I cannot wait until I find one or until I get one gifted for me. But I might do something like this and trim something with this edging and just attach it. I don't know if it would be a lamp, although a lamp would kind of be fun. It could be other things, anything, but honestly just even has enough motion. So I might keep them all together. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, but this was just such a great piece that I couldn't let it go. And I'm excited to see how it'll turn out, I should say. Coming back on over to me, we're getting there. There was not nearly as much today as there normally is, which does help quite a bit, or at least comparatively to some of the hauls. So we have this guy, which this guy took me way too long to actually decide if I was going to get him or not. This was one of those pieces that I probably kept in my hands for like 3 to 4 minutes at the minimum just debating, because as you see, it is a blue tag. It was marked originally $1.99, but I wasn't quite sure because I wanted it to almost have one of those moments where it's the, hey, if it's meant to be, it'll be here the next week. But they have been getting rid of a lot of them and turning over their jewelry, so I didn't really know how I felt about that. I did leave one necklace that I almost got, but it was $4, and I was like, hey, if it's meant to be, it'll be there next week. But for this one that was only $1.99, I did end up snatching it up, even though I had to pay full price for it. So let's again take a look on underneath our little swan. We just have a basic lobster clasp back here. It looks like we have about 8 strands going into each. We have a beautiful, beautiful, this is almost like the lightest of greens, almost like the lightest of sea foams. That's what it really looks like. And then we have these, and these are really the ones that got me to buy this necklace. If you see, they have swirls of pink in them, but just enough that it doesn't look like, it almost looks like it's a very natural garden swirling of pinks, which I really loved. And then we have these that are bright green neons, which I think will actually work with my neon necklace over here. But I have no idea why they decided to add it to this necklace. I mean, I guess they were trying to balance out how dull the other greens were, but I actually think that you lose a lot by adding this neon green. Although these greens actually do have multiple different types of beads, you can actually tell that they're different faceted ones and they're different shapes. So I did end up getting him. Hopefully he will do really well for me. And yeah, I got it. This was my one and only white tag item. So technically this was originally $1.99, but I should have gotten it for 50 cents because it was 75% off. So this is, let's bring it on over to our little guy before we talk too much about it. And here we go. So with this guy, we have some pearl trips on the side, it looks like, and then we just have some dangles again with some, it almost looks like this is amethyst. I'm not sure if it's just imitation amethyst or if it's real amethyst. It does, these smaller ones are definitely just purple glass. I do like them. I like the overall shape. I think it has pretty good balancing on both sides of the necklace. If you see the way that it is balanced of having these larger beads, the way that it comes in and still has some of those chains. So I am going to actually keep this, and it's going to go into that section that is the, if I don't end up wearing it, I'll donate it back to the channel. But if I end up wearing it, it's going to come live with me in all of my jewelry. So there was that guy. So ironically, one of the only white item that I got that was actually 75% off is one of the items that I'm going to use for myself. Although this one is also an item that I'm going to use for myself. It's just a little tiny bracelet that was originally $1.99, so I only paid $1 for it. But let me bring it up over to our swan camera and we will take a look at it. So with this bracelet, and this is what it ends up looking like, you can get an idea of what that design is. I do want to see what the actual length is on me because I didn't check it out at the store. Give me just 1 second, everyone. I'm so sorry. Sometimes putting a bracelet on yourself can be a pain in the butt. But so this is what it's looking like on me. It has quite a bit of wiggle room. I probably might just take out this last one. If I can simply connect this piece on over without destroying it too much, I might be able to actually shorten this without having too much difficulty, although I probably will need another ring with the way that they are synced, because I just want to take out one. I don't want it to still be too tight, and taking out an entire one probably would be. So I'm probably just going to have to put a jumper ring and take one of these guys out. So this will probably end up just being replaced with a jumper ring, but I do really like this bracelet. I also couldn't leave it there. I thought it was so pretty. It is really, really pretty. And in real life, I just think that the color combinations, and I don't know why, but I liked the way that it looked, and I am excited for it. I may also, honestly, just keep this in the jewelry for the side, because if I knew someone who would wear jewelry like this, I would 1000% give it to them first. But I didn't want to see him go to waste or anything else, so I rescued this little guy, even though he's not quite for my jewelry making. But he still made it onto the channel. So we are coming up, we only have 4 more items left. So this next one was a $1.99, but it is a yellow tag. And this is another one that is those wire ones. We'll go Swan Little Me. It is one of those wire ones. They are a little bit of a butt to get off of the wire, although I've gotten a little bit better, but mainly I just use a better bowl to help capture them while they go everywhere. I liked these. These have some really great lime greens, as you've seen. We also, again, have some more of those purples. We also have some more of these deep blues, although those blue seed beads actually might be close enough that they could merge. So I might be able to actually combine the blue seed beads, which if I could, that would actually make that a lot easier for me in terms of sorting and organizing. Yeah. So I'm not even going to hold this one up to the larger one. It was originally a $1.99. I will cut this tag off for us. And then we are going to take a nice look at it. This one is, of course, another one that is you can see I'm cheating, guys. This is another wrap one. This only has a few of these gold balls. I'm not too worried about them. It does look like these are natural pearls, but of course these are very cheap natural pearls. I do like the texture though. Let it focus. Yeah. So I will be adding this. I may have gotten enough bins today where I am like this close to being able to put my pearls and differentiate between white pearls and then all other colored pearls. Or I might do it that it is real pearls versus costume pearls, but some of the costume pearls are just such high quality and they look absolutely gorgeous that I don't know if I'd make the distinction with real pearls or not, but we're gonna go with it. This next one, it was a bag of 2 pins. It was $1.99, so I paid full price. But look at this pumpkin. We have this lovely pumpkin. You can actually see a little bit of rhinestones, but it has an acorn and it has some leaves. And I think that this pumpkin actually, it is a little bit bigger, but with it being a cutout pumpkin, I actually think that it doesn't look too bulky. And then we have this one, which is just an absolutely gorgeous flower pin. Look at how pretty this flower looks. You cannot tell me that you would not be absolutely thrilled with how pretty this flower looks. It's just gorgeous. So I really liked them. I also like the way that they have these cutouts from the flower petals. I think it gives it a little bit something unique. I wonder which flower directly they are trying to reference. It does look like we've got a little stamp of KC on the back, so I'm not exactly sure who that is, but that wraps us up to all except one of the necklaces, which I will show you. This is another necklace that I got for myself. It was originally $1.99. I did pay the full price because it was a blue tag. But this little number, I'm going to show you it flat first, is what this guy looks like. So if you're not familiar with this, this is more of like a collared chain. So the outfit that I'm wearing is not remotely what I would wear this with. So I am actually going to try it on, and I'm going to try it on with some of my strapless stuff. And I also might just wear it on. There is Mobius coming out, which I have no problem like secretly cosplaying as like a secret vampire and wearing like a little bustier and some like chains to the premiere. But so I'll give you an idea. So if you kind of see this, this is how it's meant to lay. So it is meant to like come across. This is quite a bit of chaining. And then of course, whenever I wear this, I won't have any material up here. So this will kind of be acting as like half of my shirt. If I manage to try it on with the bustier, I'll post it on Instagram, although that's probably not something that I'm going to do anytime soon. I do think that I'm going to take my clothes off and see how it looks, but I can do that without getting any of my stuff out of my closet. I'm not going to post that to Instagram. But hopefully this turns out well, and if I do end up trying it on with my bustier, I will post that photo. I'm just not sure if I'm going to do that. So that actually wraps it up for all of the jewelry tonight, except that we have some more stuff to get through. So the one thing, I'm going to show you this one little thing. These are just labels that I'm hoping to have, and that I'll just put my name and my stuff on it. I also might do some fake business cards and start giving my like business cards and being like, hey, I'm thrift rescuing and like this is what I do and everything else, and do a little bit of branding. I do have a slight update on last week's random stuff. So if you remember this box, it was the swan box that I found last week. Really pretty, but it was missing one of its bottoms. So what I did is I actually, and we'll look at this first. So this is what a normal bottom was supposed to look like. And I took clay and I made one out of this. So what I actually did is I actually put the clay in this part since it was hollow. And then I cut it in half. And then I did it for a second time. And then I just combined those two halves from putting it in here. And then I just glued it down. And I did make quite a few just in case I wasn't sure how much it would shrink. But it doesn't rock. It doesn't rock at all. So all that I need to do to finish up this box is simply go downstairs, and I do have a metallic gold that I can just paint on this, and it really won't be as noticeable as you may think, especially because this is going to be on the table. So you're only going to see a little bit, and I will paint this gold so that it's less noticeable, but it's already on the feet, so it's not like it's super noticeable to begin with. So let's go back to this big guys. So I will show you number one. This is a lockable one. So they had this one, and I saw this first and I grabbed it, and I was like, after spending the entire weekend picking up seed beads, I want something that's more lockable, and I don't want to have to go through that again. So I saw this. It was full price, $4.99, but I snatched it up because I wanted it. This next one was another one that I actually didn't originally see, and I don't know if it was out, but I actually, I spent a little bit longer than I normally do in the store, only because I was looking for black tops for my YouTube videos, and I did find one. However, they don't let you try anything on there, which makes it really painful for me to buy anything. And there was like a black cashmere sweater that looked gorgeous, but it was like $20 some, and I was like, I think this might be way too long on me, and before I want to spend this amount of money. And it was 100% cashmere, and if you know anything about sewing knits, if you're not super comfortable with it, I would not suggest trying out on your cashmere sweater. So I didn't end up getting it, but it took me longer in the store, so I went back and because they'll put stuff out throughout the day, and then they had this container, which is like an entire carton that is 4 of the what's going to be jewelry containers in them. So I was really excited about finding this one, because what I might just do is I might just do colors of whether I just decide that it is like blue, oranges, purples, greens, and just keep all of those in here. I might try and do, I have tried to like color sort some of them, although of course like the browns and the oranges go back and forth. But I was excited for this guy, and I'm definitely going to be organizing and breaking them down and enjoying all of that for the rest of the day. But we're not done, guys. We're not done. We still have some really fun stuff. I haven't gotten to the best of it yet, so we'll have to wait and see. So this was one of the purses. This was the only beaded purse that they actually had there last week. If you see, the beads are actually in excellent shape. So this was only $3.99, but it's a really cute little bag. You can see that it has black, and then it has just two swipes. One that's more of a purple oil slick, and that one is more of like a green with that oil slick on top of it. So it is nice. I will be enjoying my little beaded bag over there. But now we're gonna get into some of the glass. So we'll start with the Fenton glass. So this is a Fenton candle holder, is what it looks like. We have the hobnailing, the classic Fenton hobnailing on the outside of it. And I do want to look at this a little bit closer on the Swan camera because, and if you can see it, that does indeed say Fenton. It says, yep, right there you can see that it says yeah, you can see that it says. The F does look like a T, but so it is Fenton glass. There is a patent on it. I actually already have one of these bowls. To give you an idea, the way that these bowls work actually, and let me get you a little bit further out because you can't see anything, and even now you can't see anything. So these will actually have smaller, I think they're 1/2 inch candles that it takes, and then I think a 1 inch lower down. I actually do have another one of these, and possibly a second, we're not sure. So I found the original one was my first piece of Fenton glass that I ever found, and I got it, and then I got another one that looked almost identical, but it didn't have the stamp on the bottom, which made me think that it may have been a knockoff. Although it looked almost exactly the same in sizes, and it looked incredibly like the one that I had that did have the marking. But this one does, so this does complete my set. I also really like it because I do actually like things that burn natural candles, but I do care of how easy it is to get those candles out of it, as well as whenever the candle drips. What's nice about this additional edge, so you have this edge, but then you also have this additional edge that's sticks out a little bit further. So whenever the candle melts, it's going to melt and that wax is going to stay inside. You're not going to have to worry about if you're not paying attention or if that candle or something that like the wax overspilling, it's just going to stay inside, which I'm a fan of. I also just think that finding anything Fenton is kind of fun. I don't want to go to my other possible Fenton glass. Now that one, I'm going to wait for that one to be the last one because it's going to be the exit one on it. So I will show you these next 4 pieces all in a line, making it a little bit faster for you guys. So I found these. This was another thing that wasn't there originally, but I stuck around and I went through again. So here we have an absolutely gorgeous, deep sapphire blue, almost like a pinch pot, and that's what I'm going to use them for. Probably storing beads and just using them as cute little pinch pots. I did pay full price, so this one was 99 cents originally. There is also, and we can I'll take a look at this guy, and let me see if, no, that does look pretty though. There is a G with a line in it that is, okay, you can kind of see it right there. What that stands for is, I had the piece of paper. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, no. Oh no, where is it? Oh well. So this was the Imperial Glass Company. They used this from the 1950s, and then I think they stopped in the 1960s. I can't believe that I had it written down. But this is the Imperial Glassware is who actually made this, and that was the company. And you can tell from that stamp. And I do like that it was only used until the 70s. So we know that this guy has been around for a while. We then have this one that is another one that is marked with that G. Now this is much more of a carnival glass. It is really nice though. I do like the motifs. It does look like these are complementary, although you can see that they do have very different glass designs on the outside of them. But they look absolutely gorgeous. We then also have this guy that was $2.99 full price. All of these items were full price. But this one is gorgeous. This one is a very, very, very light green. It has a little cute little handle. There is no markings that I could find anywhere though. So we had that guy, and then we had this one that has that hobnail patterning along with a ruffle, which looks really pretty. This base is a really pretty yellowy orange, as you can tell that it goes into that yellow base. But this one is just a really pretty one that I'll use as another pinch pot and just keep them all four together. So all four of these guys together is what we're gonna be having. Look at that. It's gorgeous. They're pretty. They're fun. So I was super thrilled about finding those. And we'll come over to here just real quick. So these next pieces I'm going to show you. That's where it was. It just fell out of the stupid things. It was that mark was devised in 1951 and the mark was used until 1972. So we know that that's from the range of that one. So this next one that I'm going to show you is Peach Luster. And we're going to take a look on it with the big little swan, big S. You can see this beautiful flowering pattern to it. Now, I actually ended up grabbing my Fire King book out of it, and we'll see how well it translates into showing on camera. But so this is actually part of their Peach Luster, and I will show you the difference between the Peach Luster and I'll have to double check what they call that one. But this is one of the ones that they actually was one of their flagships ones, especially with Peach Luster. I have quite a few of them, but that's what this is from, so I'm happy about that one. And that is adding to my legitimate Peach Luster patterns. Now, the second item that I do have, and I'll switch to the big screen. So this is actually a casserole dish. So if you can see it, a pretty good size. It does have the Fire King imprint on the bottom. It does come also with a top, although I don't know if this is the original top. But I'll show it to you guys a little bit down here while we do a little bit bigger. And you can kind of see the difference. Although if you look, the difference in the actual coloring between the two is not a lot whatsoever. And what I'll show you is that in my Fire King book, this is actually referred to as a copper tint. So that's what this dishware was. I was able to match it. And that is different than their Peach Luster. And one of the things is that they were limiting their ovenware to a 2-year guarantee, although then they went with the copper tint Fire King, and then they went back to a lifelong guarantee, which I thought was really cool because there was so many issues with everything. And the Peach Luster, which is one of those like very, very iconic, if you're gonna look at Fire King, if you see all of that. So that's where the copper tint of the bakeware is, although I'll just have to tell you that true like peach luster is not found in bakeware anymore. Now this next one, and I don't know who that additional viewer is that came in, because you're coming in at the end, and this one, it is the last piece. Let me make sure. It is the last piece, but it actually is going to be a little bit different than the other ones, because I will show you this. If you wait just 2 seconds, you are gonna see what I'm talking about. So, sorry, I had to wait until the end so that I could turn off the lights, because I wanted to show you the uranium glass that I found, and I'm gonna try and get it to pick up well on camera as it glows. You can kind of see it glowing. So if you see this, you see that uranium really lighting up that center. Let me go and see. The issue is that it's so darn bright. Oh, there you can really see it. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to... Oh no, hey, I did grab. Oh, it is uranium glass. Hi, how are you guys? Thank you. I'm supposed to initiate in the chat. But yes, it is uranium glass, and I'm pretty darn excited about it. So with this one, this of course has those diamond cuts in it, which is really pretty and nice, if you're familiar. It then also has the, let me check my notes to go and make sure, the lattice rim right here. So I found a 1940s Fenton Katy Blue Diamond Point opalescent lattice rim vase that looks exactly like this one, but yeah, thanks. But so I think this might actually be Fenton as well. And thank you. You guys make me want to pull out all of my uranium ware and try and have a dinner party. That is one of my goals for this Halloween, is to have an entire dinner party all served on uranium glass. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Normally I'm in lights. You guys came at the very end, but you guys are so cute. Look at this. Yeah. So we got quite a bit of good things today. That's perfect, because I'm gonna go clean. But yeah, so every Wednesday they have sales and I get all of their stuff, but they only accept, they don't even take donations. They buy people's estate sales, and then that's where they get all of their products, which I think is really cool. It also lets me get some really, really cheap stuff. But yeah, so thank you. Yeah, if you liked this one, go check out some of my other videos. I do all of the jewelry up front, and then you see all of the glassware at the very end. Yeah. So yeah, next weekend I'll have, next Wednesday I'll have a new set and everything, although I do have some of my old ones still, I guess, on the Twitch that they save it. But yeah, thank you for having found me. You just made my day. I am going to sign off, but I've made a new friend. So thank you. I hope you have a good day, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye, guys.